Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we are going to do a presentation with the theme Balanced Diet and Health Issue. In this presentation, we will discuss about mindful eating practice and heart disease. These are my group member, which is ZETTY NORASHIMA, AZAZIAH, and myself NURUL IZZATI. A healthy diet is very important to ensure that the whole body gets nutrients and stimulate good growth. Eating healthy food can make the individual more energetic and stimulate brain development. However, there are few groups of people who look down on eating healthy food. They indulge in unhealthy eating habits such as eating the food that are high in salt and fat in excess, resulting in various diseases such as heart disease, high blood pressure, and diabetes. This unhealthy diet also results in a person's quality level will decrease and resulting in various mental problems such as depression, anxiety, and lack of self-confidence. Hence, doing balanced diet is required to make sure that our body get enough nutrients so that the brain's fitness and intelligence can be maintained. But before we go deeper in this topic, let me explain about what is diet. Diet refers to the total amount of food consumed by an individual and give the nutrient needed for the body to function correctly. It was doing to get better health, maintain body mass index, which is BMI, and the most important thing is to get a healthy body. How about you, Zetty? What do you think diet is?
I think that diets can vary widely in composition and emphasis, ranging from those focused on weight loss or management to those aimed at optimizing athletic performance or addressing specific medical conditions. How about you, Azza?
So, in my opinion, diet generally refer to the types and quantities of food that a person consume regularly. It encompasses not only what a person eats but also their overall eating patterns and habits. There are also can be refers to various aspects such as nutritional intakes. Then we have weight management for those who want to lose weight, and then diet also can be adapted to meet specific health goals such as managing certain medical conditions. But overall, a person total food selections and eating behavior that affect their intake of nutrients and general health are collectively referred to their diet.
Wow, such a nice opinion. Everyone know about diet and have their own understanding about it. Do you know that one of the best and popular method to do diet is mindful eating practice? But what is mindful eating practice? Mindful eating practice is basically an action of paying attention to the food that you consume in the aspect of its benefit, needs, and nutrition. Besides, mindful eating practice help you to learn to distinguish between physical and emotional hunger. It may also help to reduce disordered eating behavior, and the most interesting is support the weight loss. How about you, Azza? Have you heard about mindful eating practice before?
I am aware of mindful eating techniques. Yes, the idea of mindful eating is based on mindfulness, which call for giving the act of eating and drinking complete attentions, both inwardly and outwardly. It encourages people to focus on ideas, feeling, and sensory experience that comes up when eating to be completely present in the moment. How about you? What do you think about it?
To me, mindful diet is a way to encourage a non-judgmental awareness of our thought, emotion, and physical sensation related to food, allowing you to make choices about what, when, and how much you eat.
Next, Have you guys thought about why we have to do the mindful eating practice and why it is told that that is the best method for diet? We have to do a mindful eating practice because it helps us to curb craving. This is because mindful eating practice educates the person to follow the craving and help to differentiate between true hunger and craving triggered by emotion or external cues. This is because most of the people will consume food based on their feeling and desire, not based on their body needs. This leads to negative habits such as addiction to unhealthy food. However, a mindful eating practice leads to the person to look out for hunger more mindfully.
Mindful eating rather than mindful dieting emphasize a holistic approach to food and eating habits. Here's why it's considered beneficial. First, it promotes awareness. Mindful eating encourages awareness of hunger and fullness cues, helping you differentiate between physical hunger and emotional craving. This can prevent overeating and promote a healthier relationship with food. Then it encourages enjoyment by savoring each bite and paying attention to the sensory experience of eating. Mindful eating can enhance enjoyment of meals and reduce the need for restrictive dieting. And for the last one is supports long-term sustainability. Okay, unlike traditional diets that often involve strict rules and restriction, mindful eating focus on developing lifelong habits that are sustainable and adaptable to different situation and lifestyle. How about you?
Yes, we have thought a little about why the ideal approach is to follow a conscious diet. Eating mindfully entails observing every aspect of the process, such as our body fullness signals, the taste and the texture of the meal, and our hunger cues. By teaching us to eat mindfully and with focus rather than mindlessly ingesting food out of habit or emotion. This method helps us have a healthy relationship with food. The fact that mindful eating encourages a higher sense of contentment and enjoyment from our meals is one of the main arguments in favor of it being the greatest approach. We may taste and appreciate the flavors and texture of food by employing all of our sense and concentrating on the here and now. Also, mindful eating has been scientifically linked to improve overall health and weight management. By giving attention to our body's signal of hunger and fullness, we might potentially support our goal of weight loss or maintenance by reducing the likelihood or overindulging of consuming food impulsively. Additionally, by focusing on mindfulness during meals, we can becoming more aware of our body's nutritional requirement and preferences, which enable us to choose more thoughtfully and sensibly. This may help us feel more empowered and in charge of our eating habits as well as change our general well-being. Adopting a mindful eating perspective offers several advantages for both physical and mental health, making it a higher recommended approach for anyone wishing to create a more aware and joyful relationship with food, even if there are many other approaches to diet and nutrition.
Now, let's look at how to practice mindful eating and what is the example of the food. One of the methods to do mindful eating practice is eat slowly. This is because by doing that, we can help the brain and the tongue to identify the ingredients and the flavor in the food. Hence, we can enjoy every single bite and stimulate satisfaction of the food. Many people like to eat faster because of their ravenous, and it leads to eat more and more compared if you eat slowly. You will feel dissatisfaction. Hence, we can also make sure that every inch of the food chewed and crushed properly so that the nutrient absorption occurs more effectively. Fruit is one of the examples that mindful eating practice always influence the person to consume. This is because it is enriched with a lot of vitamins and fiber that can improve your growth and digestion. How about you?
In order to practice mindful eating, you must be present and involved in the eating experience. You must also pay attention to the sensory component of food as well as your thought and feelings around it. There are a few examples of how to practice mindful eating. But the important thing is pay attention to your body's cues. What did it mean by that? Okay, so before you start eating, take a moment to determine how hungry you are. When you are actually hungry, eat. And when you are comfortably satisfied. Besides, we need to eat healthy food to practice mindful eating. Next, we move to the next question. Can you guys share what will happen if we are not consumes diet or discusses topic, mindful eating? But before that, I will tell you my opinion first. There are a number of possible consequences for both physical and mental health from not engaging in mindful eating. The following are some potential repercussions of not engaging in mindful eating. The first one is overeating. It is simpler to lose track of how much you eat and to disregard your body's natural signals of hunger and fullness when you are not alert. This may result in overeating, which raises the risk of weight gain and associated conditions like diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. Next is poor digestion. Eating carelessly and rapidly can cause problems with digestion. Chewing food well and being present during meals facilitates better food breakdown and help lessen stomach discomfort, digestion, and bloating. How about you, Izzat?
As we know, mindful eating practice is very important to educate us to eat more mindfully. If we are not practicing it, it may lead us to unhealthy lifestyles such as consume the carbohydrate, sweet and fat excessively every day. This unhealthy habit is very bad because it may lead to a lot of health issues such as obesity, diabetes, and many more. Hence, the quality life of the person will decrease.
Then we're moving on to part 2, which is heart disease. Diet-related health problems are common in our country. This happens because of diet instability and unhealthy eating. One of the diseases that is on the rise due to unbalanced nutrition is heart disease. Heart disease, also known as cardiovascular disease, encompasses a range of conditions that affect the heart and blood vessels, including coronary artery disease, heart rhythm disorders, and congenital heart defects. Among others, with coronary artery disease being the most common type, it develops over time due to various factors such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol, smoking, diabetes, obesity, lack of physical activity, and unhealthy diet, leading to the accumulation of plaque in the arteries. Reduced blood flow to the heart and increased risk of heart attacks, stroke, and other cardiovascular events, making it a significant cause of morbidity and mortality worldwide. Azza, do you know the cause of heart disease?
Heart illness encompasses a variety of disorders affecting the heart and blood arteries and is sometimes referred to as cardiovascular disease. Heart disease is caused by a variety of variables and it frequently results from the interaction of environmental, genetic, and lifestyle factors. The following are some of the main factors and processes that lead to the onset of heart disease, which is hypertension. or high blood pressure. Over time, high blood pressure can cause damage to the arteries, increasing their susceptibility to plaque accumulation and constrictions. Hypertension increases cardiac workload and raises the risk of heart attack, stroke, and heart failure.
Now, let's look at what is the example food that lead to heart disease and why. Generally, food that leads to heart disease is the food that contains saturated fats, also known as bad fat. These fats tend to increase LDL, which is bad cholesterol in the blood. Common sources of saturated fat include animal products such as butter, coconut oil, meat fat, chicken skin, and processed food like pastries and biscuits. These fats also tend to build up plaque in the arteries. This condition is also known as atherosclerosis. This plaque is made up of cholesterol, fat, calcium, and other substances that can narrow and harden the arteries, restricting blood flow to the heart. As the arteries become narrow, the heart may not receive an adequate supply of oxygen-rich blood, leading to chest pain. If a plaque retracts, it can cause a blood clot to form, which can block blood flow to the heart muscle, resulting a heart attack.
Finally, mindful eating can have a big impact on lowering the risk of heart disease and improving heart health in general. Eating with intention and awareness, as well as being aware of the sensory characteristic of the meal, registering feelings of fullness and hunger, and paying close attention to the eating experience are all components of mindful eating. People can make more thoughtful and balanced meal choices, have a better relationship with food, and change their general eating habits by implementing mindful eating techniques.
Overall, eating mindfully can be an important part of leading a heart-healthy lifestyle. Even while it may not be able to prevent or cure heart disease on its own, a person's risk of heart disease can be decreased and their cardiovascular health can be supported by adopting mindful eating habits into daily life. However, it's crucial to keep in mind that mindful eating is only one component of a holistic strategy that should also include regular exercise, keeping a healthy weight, controlling stress, and quitting smoking in order to prevent heart disease.
Hence, based on our discussion, I believe that everyone have known that mindful eating practice is one of the simple diet that we can do. We can apply it every time and everywhere. Besides, there is no high cost required to do this diet. By doing this, we are not only get healthy body, but we also can improve our life and we can prevent from any health issue. Thank you.